When we make our habit in this manner, you will find what is grace. Because that which you find in this investigation of internalizing, even when you're seeing external, still internalizing, because until you're internalized, you cannot see the external Chaitanya. If you just run outside, you cannot understand it. But if you're deeply rooted in your awareness and then look at any external, you can see it. And that's what I'm trying to tell, that practice which is there. It's so beautiful because Mahavatar Babas, but it connects these both very deeply. Because just by thinking I'll go within, you will not be able to go within. Because that is what we call as meditation. We'll say, okay, I'll sit inside now. I heard this new thing. It is within. Let me go and find the Guru Dakshinamurti inside. What you'll do, I'll tell you. You'll go inside and then you'll start imagining somebody sitting under the banyan tree, isn't it? Dakshinamurti means you have a concept, you have an idea. So that Vikalpa will come, projection of the mind, and then you'll start. You feel you're gone inside, but you are actually meditating on the Vikalpa. That is why many people still don't get that point. It is not that. You have to become aware whenever you are meditating. Am I meditating on nothingness or is it some form, thought, idea? If you find yourself meditating on a thought, on an idea, on a vibration, on a sound, on a picture, on something, you're not still got the point. What do you do at that time? At that moment, become aware of who's the one who's looking at these pictures. Who's the one who's looking at Dakshinamurti sitting under the banyan tree? It is not in Dakshinamurti. It is in the one who is looking. You turn inward. That is called inwardness. When you go inward, also there is inwardness. I'm simplifying the path, Jnana Marga, in very simplified format. Ramana Maharshiji's path only. Very simple manner, I'm telling. For that, if you want to accelerate this process, do that stuff. What I've been telling. Life healing, those practices are marvelous to take you there. It will deepen your experience because you are coming back to that source, that Shakti, that movement. Do you see? Only the first part I'm telling. People who are very mature and want to contemplate on the self can do just that first part. The others, okay. You want to live a life, okay, that's up to you. You want to clear the muck, that also is needed because why am I not able to go and experience that divinity? Because there is so much of muck in me, clutter. Okay, then sit and forgive yourself, accept and love yourself, forgive others, release others, and then you do all those processes, manifestations. Okay, good. But the whole idea is in that first part, where you are able to sit and by doing that process regularly. So if you are doing it correctly, you will get it in 21 days, some good picture. Even if you don't get nothing to be disheartened, go on for another 21 days. That doesn't matter. If you have not got the whole concept of what this is about, extend it. Not 21 days, till whenever, like, without putting unconditionally, you put it there and do those practices. Slowly, you'll start seeing depth coming. And the first part is everything. That first part is where you are fully aware of movements. Maybe your body is moving, maybe the blood is moving, maybe breath is moving, but something is moving. You're simply without opinion, without judgment, without any conclusion, you are simply aware of it as it is. You're just watching the whole universe in you running. Universe is what? Universe is made out of gross matter and subtle matter also. Gross also is there, subtle also is there. There's so many subtle things you can't see. Gross also is there. So in your world also you have a gross body. Brahmanda is moving all the time. So much activity is going on here. And you have a subtle body also. That's your mind. So much of things in your space mind. You are simply aware of the gross and the subtle. By doing those practices again and again, you'll deepen that. You're simply aware. So there, what happens is when you will get distracted. You'll chase a thought or you'll chase a movement, some uneasiness. You'll try to make it easy. No, I'm saying just observe that. That's what we are discussed. Even ache, even discomfort, just be there. What Mahavatar Baba says, be there with no resistance. What does Mahavatar Baba say? Resistance is the problem to everything, including your diseases. Resistance only creates all kind of problems in this world. You just imagine the simple idea now. You are living this world and you don't resist anything. Imagine you, that's what you call as drishta. This happening, that happening. You're not. You're simply there. Will there any problem in life? There will not be. That's the whole thing that we are trying to tell. That's the practice that you're doing in your Brahmanda first. Instead of practicing it directly outside, you won't be able to do it. First, it has to stabilize inside. The inside resistance, the inside urge to correct things. Body is moving. You want to correct it. Mind is moving. You want to correct the mind. It is going in a wrong direction. You say this is a wrong direction. You want to bring it to a right direction. See the same reflection you can see outside. People doing something, you want to correct people. You want to change their direction. There is a resistance to everything that's happening outside. You want to change the direction of that. There is discomfort somewhere coming from outside. You want to change something to make it comfortable. See the same reflection it is. So the tapasya is completely here. You cannot directly do it there. Once this starts getting a good grip, automatically you'll see reflections happening there. You'll see it automatically happening without putting any efforts there. So the whole thing is here. So that practice, when you deeply are aware, deeply of all the movements that's happening without any resistance, and even if you're able to spend some good minutes or one session that you sit, and you're able to come out of that session feeling, yes, I was not able to move behind anything. A thought came, okay, I didn't change it. A dirty thought came, I was okay with it. It came, I saw it as it is, accepted it. A discomfort came, an itch came, a feeling came, I didn't move. So if that becomes your outcome, you're getting closer. In that sense, what happens is you are simply becoming aware of movements. Now, the question is, who is becoming aware of the movements? That is pure awareness. Once that stillness starts coming, then you start reflecting back on who is this that is watching. You will get there. The practice will come there. The whole thing will come there. That is what we are calling as grace. This grace is always available within us. It is there all the time. We are not aware of it. We might not understand it, but it understands us. That is why it is a patient force. Whatever you do, whatever you don't do, it will still support you. Even if you say, I don't understand any of this, it is still there in the background. Still, it will find out multiple ways to help you, either externally or internally. If internally you're not good at, outside it will do everything. That's where the guru and all those things come. Something or the other it will be doing, either through pleasure or pain. It will do. That is grace. Its agenda is to realize yourself. So for it, there is no pleasure and pain. For it, it is only one goal. to get you in. That is what I am trying to say. This grace will never abandon you. Even though the mind might say, oh, grace is not with me. That's the mind playing its own game. In time, you will know grace is there with you. How many times have you felt that? Disappointed, oh, it's not there. What is not there? Nothing is there. Even if you say, no, I've given up the whole thing, slowly you'll see something happening. Again, you're coming back. You are disappointed, disgusted, frustrated. You do any, throw any tantrums, whatever you do. You see that force is simply aware of what you're doing, but it is not bothered by it. You cannot threaten that. You cannot manipulate it. You cannot manipulate anything else, but you cannot manipulate that achala force. Nischala. It is not going to shake, come whatever you do. Our idea is to make that Shiva shake. How it will shake? Its nature is pure stillness. That stillness is so still that it will make you still. The whole thing is to make you still. And that grace is doing it. The pralaya, what is pralaya? Grace only is doing it. Now, this destruction of these, now see this whole thing now. We are sitting here in satsangs. Isn't it breaking somewhere our illusions? Every day, every somewhere, some corner, something has to break. Can you understand how grace does it? It breaks whether you like to break it yourself or not. It still does something. It takes care. It simply takes care. Because that where illusion keeps breaking only, slowly, it is chipping it off. So that is called pralaya. Pralaya is in progress. Pralaya is happening. Pralaya means what? Destruction of all that is false. So don't you see? Things that are false are simply falling out of me, my system, automatically, step by step, gradually, whether I want it or not. There also you see, it is not our choice. Choicelessly, you are made be able to, you are seeing the things being broken. You never asked for it. Think about it deeply. You never asked for all these things. It is simply now you're becoming aware, and you can think and see on the past 5 years, 10 years. I never asked for it. So many things happened in my life. That is the grace that is following you. The day you become aware of it, free fear will go. Whole idea is to become aware of it. We are not aware because we are not turning inside. We are running outside only. We are still trying to convince people. We want to convince our families. We want to prove it to others. Listen to me. You have to cater to my needs. You might say everything is falling apart. So many people say this. I get many mails for the past 8, 9 years. I've been seeing a lot of emails and messages coming this month. Everything is falling apart. And I smile from inside. I can't smile from outside. They will become my enemy then. I will become their enemy. They'll say, ये तो हंस रहा है हमारे प्रॉब्लम पे. प्रॉब्लम नहीं मुझे मालूम है ना. I know that is kripa, but I can't tell also anything because that problem is so precious for people. And so my preciousness is falling, and you're laughing. What you call as preciousness is kachada. If you look clearly at it, clutter which is falling down. Your attachments, your ignorances, it is all breaking. And that breaking, the more you hold it tight, the more pain you'll feel. That's all. Now, is Shiva coming to wipe your tears? Look at it. Ruthless, eh? Ruthless. Because he knows the ultimatum is that. He is like the child cries, the parent is there. Child will throw so many tantrums. Will the parent always listen? When it is harmful to the child, will it listen? The child wants to go and gobble up 4, 5 ice creams. Will the parent allow? No. What the child will do? It will throw tantrum. It will cry. It will weep. Sometimes leave food. What all it will do? But the conscious parent will not give in to all that because it knows there is something, that statement that which is not being given to that child There is something higher. The higher only can see the higher. The child can't see it. So the parent ignores that kind of crying because that is a tantrum crying. Most of our crying is tantrums. Most. Most what? All the. Except the crying which is for the Lord, which Ramakrishna says. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says, you cried bucket full of tears for your wife and children. If you would have cried the same for the Lord, you would have got him by now. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says. Any questions on today's session? Yeah, Anjali, go ahead.
Yeah, hi.
Hello.
So I have this question that when I'm doing something, it's like I'm also watching myself do that. But now when I talk about it, it's the ego, right? But the one watching it is awareness. So how does the ego know about it when the one watching it is the awareness?
You will not know about it. All this watching, not watching, this is all the mind games only. That somebody is watching me or that is watching me. Who's doing? This is all happening in the mind level. Are you getting it? Mind and ego is the same thing only. If you simplify that question and ask, then what happens when awareness is watching itself? There is simply a silence and blankness. That is what you define as samadhi. I don't know if you have ever got into that state because you ask these similar questions many times. I've seen it's almost revolving in the
Hmm.
same area. Have you experienced a moment of complete stillness, blankness, nothingness, but you still are there? You're not going to sleep.
Yeah. I I it's like I don't I'm just aware that there I'm just aware, but nothing is there, sort of
To
a
be
thing.
aware of.
Hmm.
You got that? You are aware, but there is nothing to be aware of. Is that close?
Sort of. Yeah.
See, the moment you have something to be aware of, then there are two. Then that is the mind. See, you are aware of I am meditating, for example. You're sitting and you're gone into that and you're aware that I am sitting here and meditating. Then that is not pure awareness. You are aware of you meditating because you got something to meditate upon now. The awareness is focusing on you meditating. When it has
Hmm.
nothing to be aware of, it simply becomes aware of itself. And that is a blankness. You are simply aware of a blankness. That is samadhi. You might not have that
Okay.
prolonged, but even in that silence, you might be silent, you might be blank. There might be moments where you are not even aware. Nothing is there. It is a blankness. Like 10 minutes, you went and you came out and you don't know what happened. That is sleep. That is that is not still that. Becoming aware of that sleep. There is a sleep happening, but you're aware. It can happen even for 10 seconds. It can happen for 3 seconds, 4 seconds, but it will happen. If you pay attention, it happens. When there is nothing to be, but you are alive, you know you are there in that blank. That state is pure. Rest all is mind. Whatever, when you have the feeling itself is not awareness, pure awareness. There is some feeling because feeling means there is a feeler. फीलर को ही पता चलता है ना फीलिंग है बोल के. There are
Oh,
two things happening.
mhm.
There are two. These are all two. You thinking something, you feeling something.
So when I have that experience also, I am aware of that experience, and that's why I know about it, and I'm talking
Which
about it
experience?
when I'm just aware,
Huh,
but there is nothing else going on.
huh, huh.
but at that time I'm also aware of that experience, that I'm just aware, right? At least not at that moment. For me, it hasn't happened that at that
That,
moment.
yeah, that moment you cannot, because if you're aware of that, then that's not awareness. You 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 can relate to it later. You have been through that. But if you ask me, at that moment, can you explain? You can't. That is why that state cannot be explained by anybody. That is why if you see the Avadut Gita, it says the self cannot be taught. The teacher cannot teach the self. The student cannot learn the self. It cannot be taught. See, like what we are talking is, what we are discussing now is a point which is unexplainable, but we can go close to it. Are you getting it?
Yes.
Because at that moment you can't register it. You will not know. Yeah, this is the right word. You will not know that I'm registering it at that time.
Yeah. Yeah. So at that time, I don't know that I'm having that experience, but later I have this memory not of the experience, but just the thing that this had happened.
Don't put too much of your head in this.
Hmm.
Let that expand. All that I can tell you is, because the more you we try to conceptualize it, more we are coming into the mind. We are trying to understand God with this mind. It cannot be understood.
Hmm.
The concept only. It will see. It will create new images. That I'm telling you something. You will start imagining, isn't it? New
Hmm.
concepts will start coming in. That's not the zone. What we can tell here is, if you know that space where you have experienced that, you expand it more and more. You try to get into that zone more and more. When that keeps on expanding, that, in your wakeful state also, you will start connecting with that knowingness. From that knowingness, everything will be revealed. All your questions, these things, it will get answered. Right now we have not stabilized that. It is just a glimpse here and there. That too, somebody has to poke you to go into that. But if you put your own attention on that again and again and work out, gradually you will see these things getting answered very clearly from inside. Because what I'm answering you, I have not read it in book, neither I don't know if these kind of questions are there. I'm just telling you from my vivid understanding of the whole subject. Where is that coming from? It's coming from within, from a certain knowingness. So I would like you to tap into your own knowingness, because somebody
Hmm.
else's knowingness, he will try to put it in words. You will listen in words, you will process the words, and then you will try to go there. Why not directly go there to the source? Make sense?
Hmm. Yeah. Okay, got it.
Right now, at this moment, if you have understood this much, just expand it. Meditate more on that spot, on that space. And every time you will only be able to evaluate it very clearly. You will know it. That knowingness will tell you, was it really pure awareness, or was I meditating on something? You will come to know. Easily you will understand. No, it was on something. That means there are two. My awareness is there, something is there. These both are interacting. This is Dvaita. It is still not that pure. So this is an object, this is a feeling, this is a thought, this is a concept, whatever. This awareness is watching it. In deep meditation also you can be doing this. Huh? All of us in deep meditation also we do this. We interact. We keep thinking. We keep consult. That is like savikalpa samadhi. In savikalpa, thoughts are there. So you are aware of some thoughts, all those things. But one moment is there when this all drops. What this will do? Till now, it was looking at this and that, and it was busy tapping into this experience, that experience. Now, when these experiences are paid no attention to, only this remains, awareness. This is that which we must again and again. That spot where nothing is there. You have understood it. You have explained it also. That I have got that glimpses. So, the moment you come out of that glimpse and you find yourself catching something, you can clearly be aware. Oh, this is not that. So, how do I get into that? Just drop this. Whatever it's trying to conceptualize, this, that, just drop that. And the moment that drops, you'll again get back into it. So that practice you can do again.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. So those who have understood it, fine. Those who have not understood, nothing to worry about. Just do those practices what we have learned again and again. So eventually it will lead to that zone only. Okay.